Good morning, YouTube. Well, it's time for my weekly update and weigh in. Those of you who've been following me know that for the last, it'll be 2 weeks tomorrow. For the last almost 2 weeks, I've been doing low carb. Mostly not really for the low carb aspect, but to find out if I was really having problems with wheats and grains. And you're about to get my evaluation of the whole thing, right? Okay. So week one was fabulous. 7 days, I lost about 7 or 8 pounds. So week one was great. I was feeling great. Everything was cookies, right? Everything was great. Okay. Week two, from day one, I was having trouble keeping my blood sugar stable. It was dropping too low, and I was hungry all the time. That was the first problem. The next problem was that it started to kind of affect my kidneys. And that is something that is mentioned in, if you read an Atkins book, they talk about the fact that if you have any renal issues, that maybe you should consult a physician before doing it. But I don't really have any renal issues, but I do have high blood pressure, and I'm also on blood pressure medication. So I think the combination of those things just were not good for my kidneys. I think that the carb range, because I was kind of following induction, I thought that would be a good idea. I think that carb range is just too low for my body. I really do. But that being said, I have still pretty much stuck to induction. Um, Another problem I was having was I found that it was too restrictive. The program that I lost the majority of my weight on, Way Down, and the Thin Within program, both of those programs emphasize um, basically thinking about what you want to eat and eating that to satisfaction or to satiety. Okay, well, that's close to impossible if you're doing the induction of Atkins. Well, I mean, it was for me. I'm not going to say it's impossible for everybody because that would be too general. But anyway, it was pretty impossible for me because I found myself never really getting satisfied with what I was eating. And I was eating so much meat that it was causing me to have some other issues. So hold on. So, anyway, so that's problem number two. Problem number three for me was that in the other program, I learned not to be food focused. Not to spend time thinking about what you're going to eat next, and not to spend a whole lot of time just being focused on food. Well, I found myself doing that a whole lot, especially trying to follow induction of Atkins because you have to read everything because you're looking to stay under 20 carbs a day. Well, I didn't like that. I felt like it was a very good habit I developed, not being food focused, being more God focused. Um, and I did not want to break that habit. That's a good habit. So I'm definitely not gonna continue Atkins induction. However, I do think it would be a good idea for me to stay on a lower carb diet. I mean, not diet so much, but you know what I'm saying. Not go back to eating as many carbs as I was eating before, just because blood sugar wise and blood pressure wise, um, other than dropping too low sometimes, it was really great. I mean, my blood sugars week one were completely stable. I mean, they were great week one. I just really think that it's just too low a carb count for my body. So I think I'm gonna push it up, and I'm not gonna be carb counting so much. I mean, I'm not gonna be anal about keeping up, trying to stay under 20 carbs or trying to stay under 40, or really trying to stay under 100 for that. I'm really not gonna be focusing on that. But I do want to look at doing more sugar-free things and and more things that are not really high in sugars and simple carbohydrates. I think that that's something I need to continue. I think it's good for my blood sugar, and I really never ever want to become a full-blown diabetic. So I think that would be a good habit to continue to look for lower carb items um, and stuff. Okay, now one more thing I want to talk about: exercise. I've had a long talk with myself about this, and I have come to the following declaration. While it is cold and while it is winter, I will do what I can. What I mean is, I'm not going to really push myself um, and be anal with exercise, because in the summer and in the spring, it's something I enjoy. And I would like to continue to enjoy it. And I really feel like that if I continue to be so focused on that, that it's going to be detrimental to me enjoying it when the weather gets better. And I mean, it's something I really, really enjoy when the weather is great. So, and I'm not having problems regaining a bunch of weight or anything like that. I'm maintaining and losing. So I'm just not going to focus on it. In Way Down, even though they don't say don't exercise, they say it's not absolutely necessary to weight loss. You know, weight loss is really about what you're putting in your body, and the amount thereof. You know, that's basically the focus of the weight loss thoughts and ideas. So I think I'm gonna get back to that. I was happier when I was following those principles, when I was following basically eating what I wanted and stopping when I was full. And it was much easier. And hey, I lost 75 pounds just doing that. So definitely never ever, well, I hate to say never ever, but I have no intention of ever trying this particular experiment again with the 14-day induction Atkins thing. I mean, it's just a little intense. I know it works. Now, for those of you, there's been a few of you that have been talking about trying it. I would totally recommend you get the Atkins book and do induction, especially if you have no health problems. I would recommend it. And the reason why I say that is because if you're struggling with other things, especially if you're struggling with addiction to sugars and simple carbohydrates, it's a great way to tear down those walls. But I was not, I mean, I realized that even though I like sugar and stuff like that, I can do without it. So, I mean, I think that those are walls that I had kind of already torn down. The major things I needed to tear down in my life, I think I really already had tore them down. So, I'm not going to revisit that. Anyway, this video is getting super long. To make a long story short, week 1 I lost 7 or 8 pounds. Week 2 I didn't lose anything, not one day, and I don't really know why that is, because I pretty much kept my my carb count down. It may have been some artificial sweeteners, I don't know, but I'll update you guys on what exactly I've been reincorporating into my diet. I'm still going to stay away from wheat. I do not think wheat is my friend. Even though I had a low carb wheat type tortilla this morning, I'm still not going to go head first back into wheat, because I don't think it's my friend. But listen, guys, be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe. If you have any questions for me, be sure to shoot them down in the box. And I don't want this video to just keep going on and on and on. I'll be back probably in the middle of next week. If not, I'll see you Friday. Bye, guys.